Nowadays, plastic is vital in some ways for our day-by-day lives. But like any other thing in life, excessive is not good. Continue to watch this video if you'd like to find out the types of plastic out there and their use, and also to see the good and the bad and our recommendations. Without further ado, let's just jump into the video. Synthetic polymer was invented in 1869 by John Wesley Wyatt, who was inspired by a New York firm that offered $10,000 to anyone who could provide a substitute for ivory. Obviously, Wesley won the contest and the invention was revolutionary. For the first time in the history of humankind, manufacturing was not limited by nature, who could only provide wood, metal, stone, bone, tusk, and horn. In 1907, Leo Baekeland invented Bakelite, which was the first synthetic plastic that did not have any molecules found in nature. Wesley's and Baekeland's successes led big chemicals companies to invest massively in this idea, and new plastic were soon to join the game. Statement that leads to the next part of this video. On our everyday plastic use, some of them are different than the others and maybe we don't even realize. There are 7 types of plastic and each one of them have their own properties. The first one, and maybe the most well known, is PET. PET plastic is used for items such as soda and water bottles, salad dressing, medicine jars, and peanut butter jars. The good thing about this type of plastic is that it's widely recyclable and repurposed to make items such as pillow stuffing, life jackets, luggage, or winter coats. The second type of plastic is HDPE. It is another type of plastic that can be found in a day-by-day items such as milk jugs, trash bags, shampoo and conditioner, soap bottles, bleach bottles, toys, and also in the production of one of the worst items, which is the reason for this video as well, plastic bags. The good side of this type of plastic is that it's widely recyclable. If the windows in your house have a white frame and it looks like plastic, there's a good chance it's PVC. PVC is also used for sewage pipes, plumbing pipes, or ducts. This type of plastic is widely recyclable, however is picked by the authorities only on request. The fifth and the sixth type of plastic are PP and PS, both sharing mostly the same properties and are used for plastic kitchenware, takeaway containers, cups and plates. Unfortunately, these are not recyclable, so next time when you are ordering takeaway, please do consider that. And last but not least, there is the others. In this particular group we have non-recyclable items such as CDs, eyeglasses, medical storage containers or baby bottles. Now you know the 7 types of plastic, but how good or bad is this for the environment and for us? Firstly, let's start with the bad in this situation. You can find plastic everywhere these days and that is the problem. It is everywhere, even in the places where it shouldn't be. At the beach, in the seas or oceans, and we are using plastic now more than ever before. Estimate number shows that every day 8 million pieces of plastic of different sizes are entering the oceans. The question is, how much is in the ocean? The answer is a lot. Around 51 trillion microscopic pieces of plastic, which weighs around 269,000 tons, or the equivalent of 1,345 of adult blue whales. To put it in a deeper perspective, the number of pieces of plastic in the seas and oceans are 500 times more than the stars in our galaxy. And it's here to stay. Plastic as we know it is very strong and durable, which is very useful, however, it's very hard for it to disappear. A plastic bottle can hold in a maritime environment for about 450 years, slowly fragmenting into smaller pieces, which eventually becomes microscopic, but never truly goes away. In other words, every plastic ever produced will always be here, in a form or another. Obviously, this much amount of plastic generates problems. One problem is the harm that it put for the environment. For wildlife, plastic can be deadly. Fish, dolphins, seabirds, and seals can be tangled in pieces of plastic or confuse it with food, which puts in harm their lives. Pictures captured by Chris Jordan in Midway Atoll shows an albatross stomach, which is full of plastic. More recently, in the autopsy of a caviar-beaked whale were found 30 plastic bags and different pieces of plastic labeled in Danish and English in its stomach and intestines, causing pain, blockages, and ultimately death. 2/3 of this plastic pollution comes from land-based sources, such as litter left on the beaches, washed down rivers, and drains from litter being dropped. Adding to the bad are the big industries that spills wastes, who badly manage landfill sites or bins near the coast. Not many of us knows, but in the middle of the North Pacific there is a swirling whirlpool of ocean currents that collects plastic debris. It's estimated that the size is twice bigger than France. The oceanographer Chris Moore, who discovered this whirlpool, says that if we continue with our bad habits, it will double in size in the next 10 years. Unfortunately, it's not a patch of land that we can relax with a beer in our hand, but more likely a gigantic plastic soup made of confetti-sized plastic pieces. To clean only 1% of this patch would take 67 ships working day and night for a year. What about us? We don't live in the ocean. Is it affecting us? The answer is simply yes. 1 out of 3 fish caught for human consumption has plastic in it. There is no question if we end up eating it, but how bad is for our health. The reality is that in seawater, plastic absorbs chemicals such as PCBs or TDTs, which have been linked to endocrine disruption and in some cases even cancer, and becoming more dangerous as they work up in the food chain. For most of us, where the beach connects with the sea or the ocean is where we connect with the nature, and it's not the same if it's covered in plastic. A good percentage of the population around the globe are dependent on beaches and the tourism that comes with it. For example, in the UK, 5.5 billion British pounds comes from the coastal tourism. As well, 70% of our oxygen comes from marine plants. Unfortunately, the cost of scooping up the litter in the oceans are getting to astronomical prices. And for start, only 1% of marine litter floats, with the vast majority going on the seabed. To complicate matters, the majority of the plastic is microscopic. However, plastic isn't that bad, isn't it? The answer is no, it's incredibly useful. Lots of people rely on it. Diabetics use plastic for their disposable syringes, arthritic patients have the possibility to replace their hips with plastic, and construction workers wear it for their own protection. Or without it, we wouldn't have computers, phones, cars, and the list could go on. In other words, plastic is vital for our development in technology, and not only. The biggest problem is the single-use plastic. In average, a plastic bag is used for only 12 minutes, yet it takes 450 years to fragment. Approaching the end of this video, here are some facts that I hope will stick with you. Plastic nowadays can be found on every beach on the planet, from touristic to uninhabited ones. Scientists have recently discovered microplastic embedded in the Arctic ice. In the 50s, the world population was 2.5 billion, and the consumption of plastic was around 1.5 million tons per year. Nowadays, we are 7.5 billion, and we are consuming over 3 million tons per year, and the estimated figure shows that if we are going on this direction, by 2034 we will double those figures. In the United Kingdom, around 150 plastic bottles are found each mile of beach. Recent studies have revealed marine plastic pollution in 100% of marine turtles, 59% of whales, 36% of seals, and 40% of seabird species examined. And 100,000 marine mammals and turtles and 1 million seabirds are killed by marine plastic pollution annually. But there is hope. We can reduce plastic consumption with relatively simple steps. Bring your own coffee cup and bottle of water to work. Say no to plastic cutleries. Ditch the cling wrap and use aluminum one. And give up chewing gum. Yes, it's made out of plastic, and we produce 100,000 tons per year of gum litter. Also, you can find in the description of this video useful links on how to reduce your plastic consumption. With that in mind, we hope this video informed you with a little bit of extra knowledge about plastic, and if so, please do like the video and leave any suggestions and other comments down below. Thanks for watching and stay informed.